Swimming, cycling, and running. They're three sports that pretty much everyone can do. You might argue you can't swim, but you can. It's one of the main draw cards of triathlon that everyone can do it. But doing it well is hard.
Yeah, so hiring a coach can seem like quite a big step. It can be quite daunting, actually. So today we're going to be debating whether you really need one. I'm going to be arguing that you do.
That's not how did you decide that? Okay. To be fair, Mark and I are both coaches. So we're a bit biased when it comes to this topic because obviously we'd both be arguing the same side. So I will put on my average Joe age grouper hat.
Good
and
man.
I will try and argue all the common reasons that age groupers give for not hiring a coach. And hopefully Mark will be able to argue against them. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here and be out of a job, Mark. Let me put my Joe age grouper costume on.
Whoa.
Hey.
Wow. Finisher medal, visor, finisher t-shirt.
I'm kind of a big deal. Okay, triathlon is hard, as in it's tough, but it's not complicated. To get better, all you have to do is swim more, cycle more, run more. I mean, a bit of planning to fit it around your life, not going too hard so you don't smash yourself, and you'll be fine.
I think, James, you underestimate actually how much you know about triathlon here and also how much you know about your body. You know when you go out for a session, sort of what pace you need to run at, how long it's going to take you to recover from that.
Like I said, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I know. And you make it sound simple just fitting that schedule in around your life, your work and day to day, whereas actually a good coach will take that stress off your plate and make sure that you're fitting it in well around your life, your day-to-day commitments, and making sure you're not neglecting any parts of your training that's necessary for you to perform well.
Yeah, but if I get a coach, what they're going to do is they're going to demand additional sessions. And I don't have any time for additional sessions. I already fill all my time with triathlon training. And I know what you're going to say. No, they won't. They'll fit in what, but they will initially. And then before long, they'll be saying, yeah, but you also need to add in this to work on this. And you need to add in this to work on that.
Well, yeah, I am going to say no, they won't, because a good coach will maximize the time that is available. They're not going to start adding more to your plate. So they're going to look at the training you're doing on the available time and they're going to try and make that as specific as possible and get the most out of it. Be as time efficient with your training. If anything, you might even find you're actually saving time and getting rid of some of the junk mileage. But what they may tweak is your goals. If you've been maybe overly ambitious and you said you're going to go sub 9 hour
That's not
Ironman.
overly ambitious.
No, but it is if you maybe only got 6 hours of training available during the week. Is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. So they may get involved and just reset those expectations and make sure that you are achieving your goals and you're happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, but then to make me effective and productive in my training, they'll say I can't go training with my group of mates on the weekend. And I love training with my group of mates on the weekend. In fact, I end up doing all my training on my own because I have specific sessions, heart rate zones and whatever, and my mates will just be like, we're not doing that. I'll end up being like a triathlon recluse. I'll be faster maybe, but I'll be miserable because I've got a coach.
I didn't realise this was a therapy session for you. You're being a little bit dramatic here, James. No, again, a good coach will take that into account. They're not there to make you a recluse. They want you to enjoy the journey. At the end of the day, this is your hobby. This is something you've been excited to get involved in, and they want to make sure that they keep that going for you. If they suddenly start removing you from all your rides with your friends, then yeah, that's absolutely going to destroy that fun for you. What they may do though is find that balance for you. Of course, you want to perform as well as possible, so occasionally there'll be a bit of a trade-off. There may be some sessions where, yeah, it's better for you to go out and do this one on your own, get the most from it, but some days, yeah, absolutely, go ride with your mates. Again, a good coach will be able to tell you which sessions you should get involved in, which sessions maybe you shouldn't, and maybe some of those training partners that are doing no good to your training and pushing you a bit too hard.
At the end of the day, I want to be faster and I want to be better, but I also want to enjoy it. And a coach, you know, sometimes I just miss a session. It's not my job. It's not that important to me. And a coach is going to be disappointed if I miss a session. Sometimes I just want to miss a session, even without a good reason. And now if I've got a coach, I'm going to have to come up with a good reason if I ever want to miss a session. That's going to be an added stress. And I'll have to record and upload all my sessions, and I'm not very good at doing that.
Well, I don't know if you realise, actually, things upload automatically these days, James, so I don't think that's a very good excuse. Anyway,
I'm scraping, yeah.
I think you are, because actually, if you are trying to perform well, even if you have a coach or not, you should really be recording your training. So say your training is already automatically uploading, be that Strava, Training Peaks, Humongo, whatever it is. All it is simply a case of just adding a coach to that. There's not really too much to it. They can suddenly now see your training. And again, a good coach will understand that you'll have good days, you'll have bad days. Motivation may lack on some days, and it may mean that you do occasionally miss the odd session. And that's fine. There's the ebbs and flows of training. They may try and just help you, or even preempt when those low days are coming, and try and just help get you out the door and on your way. And yeah, so be it. What if your watch battery dies or whatever? It's not the end of the world.
But they still want me to buy a power meter and wear my heart rate monitor all the time. I'm not very good with that stuff. Like that, I just don't want to do that, just so a coach can see what I'm doing.
And these are just excuses, James, because again, that's not a necessity or a requirement. A coach, or a good coach, will be able to adapt to whatever you are willing to use and take. So if that's heart rate, power, or even just perceived effort of exertion, they will just tailor the training to that. In fact, what I would say is having a coach, perhaps it actually reduces the stress that you're undertaking, because they are setting the training for you. They're removing that worry, and you just have to just turn up and do your sessions. It's all taken care of.
Yeah, good arguments, but none of this matters anyway, because coaches are expensive and triathlon's already expensive. I've already spent all of my expendable income on the stuff I need for triathlon, and I can't do a triathlon without a bike, but I can do a triathlon without a coach.
Yeah, but you could also do a triathlon without a £10,000 bike. Hey.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it looks like a £10,000 bike, but actually I got a good deal on it. So I only spent £6,400 on it. So that's what you call free speed.
Yeah, free speed. The fact of the matter is triathlon is expensive. And that's exactly why you should hire a coach, not why you shouldn't. In fact, actually, I'd say it's probably the best money you will spend in triathlon, where you'll get the most bang for your buck in terms of speed and watts, and actually almost a bit of insurance, I'd say, for some of those other rather expensive purchases, and making sure you do get the result you're after.
I've run out of arguments, and anyway, I've got an appointment to get an M.dot tattoo, so I'm out of here. Hey.
Nice to have you back, James. Who was that guy? He had a real bearded bonnet about coaches.
Anyway, Mark's last point is probably the most important one there, that a coach, and spending that money on a coach, is the best insurance policy you can have. And before you go, you probably noticed throughout this thing, Mark said a good coach. Now, well, that's not to say that there are that many bad coaches out there. There probably are some bad coaches out there. The point is, there's a good coach, and then there's a good coach for you. Because not all coaches are going to work for all athletes. They might be the best triathlon coach in the world, but if your personalities don't mesh, they just won't work for you. It is a relationship. You need to have a coach that works for your particular personality. Some people like a stern, forthright coach to tell them what to do. Others like a nurturing, soft, caring coach. Some people need a coach to every day ask them how a session went and initiate the feedback. Others are just going to flood their coach with all kinds of feedback, and they need a coach who can actually deal with that constant feedback. So find the right coach for you.
Yeah, so it's really important you do shop around and have discussions with potential coaches to find the right fit for you. The coaches understand this. This is part of the process, and they actually need to make sure that you fit for them as much as you do for them.
Also, having said that, give your coach a chance. Don't jump coaches every month, because it takes a while for a coaching relationship to build and grow and actually see some results. You need to give them 3 to 6 months at least, to even a whole season, so that they can really see the gains and see the things that are working, because it is not an immediate change where 1 month later everything feels better, and jumping a coach every month will just not get you any results.
And also, to add to this, finding out whether you want a coach that is close to home, or you're happy with someone just virtually online that you just chat to every so often. Again, kind of comes back to the point, what suits your needs. Again, do you just want a plan and very little communication, or do you need someone with a little bit more analysis involved in it? So,
well, if you don't have a coach and you want some coaching questions answered, hashtag GTN Coaches Corner below this video, and next week on Coaches Corner we could be answering your questions. We hope today we've helped you with your decision whether or not to get a coach, and you don't feel too seen by the age grouper James. Some of the questions there. Leave your questions down below, and we'll see you next week for another Coach's Corner.